You are now listening to
The Really Joe podcast. Really Joe.
I don't want it to sound controversial, but do you think Dwayne Wade and his old lady, do you think they exploiting their child? I can't say he or she that child more than they should be.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Shit. Well, look, I had this talk with some people before. I'm just gonna give you my opinion since you asked. I'm gonna give you the cold truth.
Yeah,
The cold truth is I blame Gabrielle Union because she's the free spirit. You know, she's like if you listen to any of her interviews, which I watched several.
yeah,
Uh oh yeah, Max Julian, right. A lot of child celebrities have went out sad or bad. Like it gets real ugly.
yeah.
But I watched several of Gabrielle Union's interviews some years ago. She was talking about how she was humping a teddy bear at 5 years old, things
Yeah.
like that. She was touching herself at a young age, all that. I think she was sexually abused by somebody at a young age also. But to me, she's the free spirit. So I could see her pushing that little boy at the time into
Right,
being a free spirit when she probably shouldn't have, based off of
right.
her past experiences. Not to mention, I think I think a man could deal with having a son that's homosexual. I think a man could deal with that. You could probably get over that. But you ain't
Yeah.
finna dress like no damn girl in my house. You know what I'm saying? Like once you turn 18, you can do what you want. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't finna do that here. You
I
know,
agree.
it's already a hard pill to swallow. Your son not being the man you was probably looking for him to be. You know,
Right.
so I can see a man get over that. But dressing like a girl, changing your name, man, hell no. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna be real with you. I really blame Dwayne Wade for some of that.
Oh, a lot of
Yeah, because
a lot.
for one, he real feminine.
Very.
He real feminine himself. Crazy. Say you pay the bills, you set the boundaries right.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. And Max Jewell, you're right. It is hard. It's very
Yeah.
hard. But Dwayne Wade, he real feminine. Not to mention, I think I read a story where they said the little boy babysitter was a homosexual person, and I'm not saying that that's the reason why that little boy turned out that way, but
Right.
I'm a firm believer. I'm not gonna set myself up for failure. You
Nah,
know what I'm
not
saying? Just like one of my best friends, better yet, I'm gonna be real. We was in Pine Bluff, fool, and oh, Max Jewell says it's already tough enough being black with being black and trans.
right.
Yeah, I'm sure that's really tough. You're right. But when we was in Pine Bluff, man, one of my best friends, we was at me and Denise's apartment, and I was finna get ready to go to the store, and he just sat there playing the game, and I'm like, "Hey, fool, what you doing?
Right.
Like, you going too? Like, nigga, I'm not
That,
finna leave you here, my old lady. What's wrong with you?" And not saying that my old lady would get down like that. Not saying he would, but I'm not finna set myself up for failure. Like, come on, fam.
yeah. Tiara, that's true. And I think some people are born that way, but
Yeah.
I don't think Wayne Wade's son was born that way. He wasn't acting like that until this new marriage happened, really. Around that time. He wasn't doing that when he was with his mama.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I agree. I do agree. I do think some people are born gay. I've seen a lot of people where
Yeah.
I saw it when they were 4 or 5 years old. I'm like, he gonna be gay one day, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like you got a problem with it. I mean, it
Right.
was, if you ask me, it was harder being gay back in our day because they used to try to beat that gay out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I heard about that before too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's true.
I think D Wade is too, Ty.
Yeah. And see, now this another thing, right? Since we on this topic, I see a lot of people try to disguise. Hold on, let me put this in the form of a question. What do you think about being bisexual or gay?
You mean, and like, what you mean? How do I feel about it?
Okay.
Do I feel like they're lying about being one or the other? Or?
Well, you got a lot of people now that's gay, and let's just say it's a guy. It's a guy. He might say that he's bisexual because he's been with a woman before, but he probably prefers men.
Right.
Or you got a woman who says that she's bisexual because she's been with a man, but she probably prefers women.
Yeah.
Like is that the same to you in your opinion?
I think those are the ones that's confused. you know.
They messing the
I mean,
game up, huh?
yeah, like I mean, I understand. Like, say for instance, I've seen women who had children and everything, been with me and had children, but now they only talk to women. I mean, I can understand that. Now you only talking to women. There's a reason for it. But going back and forth, I don't buy that. You just out here wilding. That's just how I look at that. Now, I'll say this. I know an individual who was entertaining both sides. And I mean, cool dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, never approached me in any way, like none of that. But he was man enough to tell me face to face who he was. I
Yeah.
respect it. I respect that. You do your thing. We can be cool, but it ain't never going past being homeboys.
Right.
I respect that, but just flip flopping both sides. I don't get it. But
Right.
to each his own. But
Right.
I don't see how you can actually entertain a man the same way you entertain a woman, or vice versa. It has to be a disconnect somewhere on either side.
Right. Well,
You know,
see, I'm kind of with Nick, right? I know some dudes that'll tell you that, hey, I'm bisexual. But it's like, dude, you've been with a dude like 8 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie. To me, it's like either you straight or you gay. I
yeah.
mean, even if you bisexual, to me that's gay. You know what I'm saying? But now,
You dealing with the same sex
yeah,
at some point.
yeah, at some point. So, to me it's that simple. I can't get into all the letters.
Right.
To me it's all under one umbrella. It's just
Facts.
some people like the same sex, some don't. But yeah,
Yeah.
to me it's just all under one umbrella. But I have ran across a lot of people. They're quick to throw out, "Hey, I'm bisexual." It's like, man, no, you ain't. You had 3 boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? Since I know you, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? And yeah. And see, like Nick said, it's no in between to me. And keep in mind, I don't knock any of them. Whichever route you want to go, fine. But just don't let's not confuse it. You know what I'm saying? And
I
see,
just don't like going back to the D Wade thing and Gabriel Union.
mhm,
Whatever the kid wants to be, whether he like boys or he like girls, no problems with that at all. But this kid, he's still a kid. You don't. To me, I feel like it's forced because he doesn't know exactly what he is or what he wants to be at that early of an age. You're forcing him to carry out an act that he doesn't really even know that he wants to carry out. He's still trying to figure himself out. But now the fact that because this is way before he was a teenager, really, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
He started changing the way he dressing, and now he wanting the full sex change and all this stuff. He was still a kid. Let him figure out who he wants to be first.
yeah,
As opposed to him still being a boy and you starting to dress him in girls' clothes and he's out in public like that. Like, no, because you're going to create something bigger mentally for him in the long run. He might end up turning out to be, somebody that touch little boys and little girls, because you're putting so much on his mind at a young age. That's not right.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you see whatever happened with D Wade's younger child? Not the baby, but the one you talking about.
No, what's the latest news? I fell off.
Well, I mean, it's old at this time, but the middle child, because it's kind of hard to say. I don't want to be disrespectful, call him a boy, but whatever. The middle child went on a date with another kid. It was a little white kid. The white kid, I think, was born a girl, but was portraying himself to be a boy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really think about it, that's PP. There's one PP
Right.
and one vaginal area.
Right.
Don't it sound like he's straight? I'm just saying.
That's what they're confused. They're confusing these kids too early. That's what I'm saying. It don't.
Right. So you on a date with a little boy portraying himself to be a girl, and you're dating a little girl portraying himself to be a boy. Not to mention, they got all types of pictures of them two kissing at probably 13, 14 years old with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union there. And I'm like,
that's not right.
You hear me?
Man, I couldn't kiss a girl around my mom when they were no 13. Man, both of us get slapped. I wasn't try nothing like that.
Hold on, I'm checking out what Max Julian. Hey, but I agree with you. Yeah, better yet, back in our day, we weren't doing no kissing. Period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He said pansexual. I never heard of that. But I grew more liking for it in any other sport. Hey, I'm with that. Yeah. So it's like your pops introduced you to
it. And what he's saying is D Wade helped introduce his son to what he into. That's what he's saying. But you don't have to choose to be that unless it's something you want to be. I understand what he's saying. He just didn't want to put it out there like that.
Yeah. Hey, I can tell y'all real partners, man.
Oh yeah, that's my boy, man.
Hey, so check this out, right? If you ever get some time, Google this, right? Dwayne Wade was on the beach, I think in Florida. He ran across a couple that was getting engaged, like the guy was proposing. You see a picture of Dwayne Wade in the background, you ought to see him in that picture. Hey, he in the background like this.
I knew that man was like that, dog.
Yeah, but I'm talking about he had on Hoochie Daddy shorts before they were popular. Yeah. I'm just saying, man, sometimes the proof in the pudding,
Right.
But hey, I'm gonna look up that pansexual. But look, hey, I know it's getting late. We're gonna have to bring this to a close. We can't go like an hour and a half like we did.
Right.